Thank you very much, Peter. Ladies and gentlemen, let me first of all recognize our colleagues who are particularly in leadership. We are here with the Deputy Minister of Water and Environmental Affairs, Mayor Joyce Mabudafasi, also with the Chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Water and Environment, Advocate Johnny DeLange, CEO of Water Research, and I think there are many CEOs here, quite a few of them, singling out the CEO because he's going to be one of the speakers today, the chairs of boards who are here with us, acting DG of the department, all of you esteemed ladies and gentlemen who I may not mention. We are very, very delighted indeed to be here to come and share some ideas with you about the water situation in South Africa. But before we do that, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to just express our condolences to our brother, to the family of my brother Vuyo Mbuli. And indeed, just to also say that this is one of the, I think, very difficult sessions that we're having just after his passing on. This is the first breakfast show that we have for SABC and the New Age. The editor of the New Age has already welcomed us. Thank you very much. But as we were watching, ladies and gentlemen, the Gauteng studios talking about Vuyo, we would like to express our very sincere condolences. I think all of us have worked with Vuyo individually and collectively. We know he was a real brother, a real hard worker, a real reachable man. He was down to earth, I think, to children, to everybody. He was everything to all of us and to his family. And we are going to really miss him. We are beginning to feel that hollow already. As Peter said, we will find it very, very difficult to find somebody who's like him. Of course, not that you are, not Peter, but in your own way. Indeed, I would like to ask all of us, ladies and gentlemen, and I've asked permission to do this, especially to rise and observe a moment of silence. Thank you. May his soul rest in peace. And again, on behalf of the entire government of South Africa and the people of the Republic, we would like to extend our sincere condolences to the family and to the fraternity of journalism, in particular in South Africa and abroad. Ladies and gentlemen, moving on, we meet this morning at a day before tabling our department's budget vote. That's the Department of Water Affairs, because indeed we do have two votes. The the vote of Water Affairs is happening tomorrow. And there might be those who are asking questions, why today and why whenever. Those questions do not need to be answered. We are on track. We are addressing water issues as South Africans. And we are here to address a number of issues regarding our achievements in particular that we attained during the past few years of our being in government in particular. But we also want to showcase what the ANC-led government has achieved and has been hard at work at in terms of improving the lives of our poor people at all levels in our country. This is not to deny that there are some areas that require us to focus on as we celebrate this success, we also acknowledge at the same time that there has been some consistent trend of improvements, but yes, there are areas which we actually know that we still require a lot of attention. Access to clean drinking water is one of the fundamental rights that are guaranteed in our Constitution of the Republic of South Africa. We have indeed made great strides since 1994 in order to ensure the realization of this constitutional right to all our people. And as you are aware, the average percentage of water, of our people in South Africa with access to clean drinking water now stands at 95.2%. But a few years ago, it was at 94.7%. This is a very difficult mountain now, part of a mountain to climb. But yes, we come from less than 58% pre-1994. And this indicates a huge improvement and indeed a commitment on our part as government to provide the services of water. Despite this success, ladies and gentlemen, we are very consciously and acutely aware of the communities that are still in dire need of water, especially those in rural areas. But we are also committed to ensure that the gap that exists currently, and the gap being of about 4.8%, is closed. In this regard, we welcome the initiative, new initiative indeed, that we have begun again. This is linked to the theme of this third decade of our government. And that initiative is a new initiative that we'll announce properly tomorrow. Its name is called Municipal Water Infrastructure Grant. MWIG is a new grant, which will be a vehicle to accelerate such provision of water in those deep rural areas. We believe that working together with our local government as partners, we will ensure that no community lives without water, adequate water, and indeed clean water for drinking and for use at households. In terms of our plans, as I said, for this third decade of democratic governments, ladies and gentlemen, which is the next decade, should be a decade of equity and distribution. That's what we call it. And as we review our policies, as we are currently doing, reviewing our legislation, as well as finalizing our strategy known as the National Water Resource Strategy, and all of those will actually be finalized this year in terms of our plans, ladies and gentlemen. We are working into all these programs, the equity and redistribution notion and a focus that must be attained. We are here also looking at opportunity where women and children will also benefit, because we know they've got to go to school. Our women do not have to go, walk miles to go and fetch water. These are the programs that we want to attain, all the achievements that we want to make. We do believe, ladies and gentlemen, that we will only succeed in these endeavors with the contribution and help and support of every one of us in this room and throughout South Africa in this business of water, because we do believe that water is a business, a 24/7 business. Your support is needed, your help, your participation is needed, especially those who are users as well and beneficiaries of this resource. It is worrying, ladies and gentlemen, that South Africans seem not to heed the message that South Africa is a water-scarce country. We have just received shocking statistics from a study conducted by the Water Research Commission that we are losing about 36% of our clean drinking water due to illegal water use, leaking pipes, dripping taps, and other water use behavior inefficiencies. And I want to use this opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, to call on all of us as South Africans, young and old, men and women, black and white, to start using water sparingly. If you haven't started, If you have started, you are doing well. Continue with that exercise. If we continue with this trend, ladies and gentlemen, of using water as if it is an infinite resource, we may find ourselves in some form of trouble. And there have been many predictions and pronouncements in the past through various platforms in South Africa. And that says South Africa will run out of water. You hear what they say? Run out of water by 2013, 2025, 2030, and so on. Let me make it clear that that situation may happen, which is a very, very difficult thing to come to in this country. And this is so because we do think that it may happen if we do not do anything. We are, however, confident that it is a possibility, but not easily done, because our water strategy, our plans for the future, are all geared towards sustainability and security of supply. In other words, we're not sitting back, and we want to rely on you as well as South Africans to work hard, and every one of us must contribute to ensure that this statement that's always made is not a reality. And we do know that we will not get there because of our plans, because of how we are working hard to ensure that there's sustainability and of use of this resource. However, this reality is only achievable, ladies and gentlemen, in conditions of partnerships, as I'm calling for partnerships, and joint responsibility towards responsible use of water. Ladies and gentlemen, the other issue that we must deal with jointly, and also with equal zeal and commitment indeed, is pollution of our water resources. Peter has referred to that in his introductory remarks. And I'm glad that we are beginning to see positive results in tackling the problem of mine water pollution in the Wits area. You must have heard, ladies and gentlemen, the cynics previously telling us that Johannesburg will drown in a sea of mine water, and that government is folding its arms while the future of our people in Gauteng hangs in a balance. As we speak, we have successfully completed the immediate solution in Western Basin, and have already commissioned, we've already commissioned in June. And the uncontrolled decant of AMD in Western Basin effectively stopped in August 2012, and putting a stop to uncontrolled decant that started back in 2002. We are currently, ladies and gentlemen, as we speak again, busy with the second phase of upgrading the Rand uranium plant, which will further increase the capacity to treat the AMD in that basin. In other words, I'm really saying to all of you that we don't need to panic and do not quite have to go with those words of those cynics. We are on top of the issue. With regard to the Central Basin, the contract for the construction of a new water treatment plant was awarded in December 2012, and construction started on the 14th of February 2013. We are making remarkable progress in this regard, and the project is on schedule to start pumping water in by November 2013. Again, that will be before the what people in water call ECL, environmental critical levels, is actually reached. In the Eastern Basin, construction of a new water treatment plant is planned to commence by November 2014. Ladies and gentlemen, infrastructure remains vital in the achievement of our priorities as government. At Water Affairs, we have conducted a study from which a sector-wide infrastructure plan has been developed, and this is actually a value chain investment plan. And according to this plan, we will need about 671 billion rand over the next 10 years. Shortfall is there, but we do know that our treasury is all there, at least trying to provide funds towards reaching and meeting this need. And it's actually a value chain requirement. This is the reason that we actually call on private sector and other partners out there to join and invest in this great initiative, which forms the edifice of South Africa's economy. And the plan identifies the number of gaps, ladies and gentlemen, with regards to the aging and dilapidated infrastructure that we have to fix, the operation and maintenance, and the issue of lack of skills generally at our municipalities. And water services, particularly the expansion of piped infrastructure, have a high technical or rather engineering content, and professional knowledge is often needed. There is an enormous challenge with regards to availability of some of the requisite skills that we acknowledge in this sector. But we are hard at work, ladies and gentlemen, to reduce the gap with regards to availability and misalignment of particular artisans and engineering and technical staff. We are addressing these challenges together with local government, but more work needs to be done to ensure quality service delivery. We have also successfully put together a rapid response team to assist and improve the functioning within municipalities with regard to water services and the provision of water, as well as associated municipal compliance with the green drop and the blue drop system that you probably all know about, and that we do through the implementation of proper corrective actions and by raising the skills and competence of municipalities officials as well as the office bearers. And to achieve this, ladies and gentlemen, it is imperative that we strengthen the capacity of water sector institutions. We have completed 90% of the work on the realignment of these institutions in the water sector, and this we did throughout the year 2012 and 2013 financial year, including in our water boards, the water catchment management agencies, as well as the Water User Association. That whole chain of institutions that is currently operative in the water sector, we have actually completed its review because we want to be ready. We want to be geared up institutionally for everyone to know what is your role and what you need to do. And of course, we are reviewing, as I said, the legislation. And some of these institutions, for instance, the Water User Association, the jury is out there about how we are going to have to restructure those. While the revised institutional framework will be implemented in the 2013-2014 financial year, we will concurrently decide on the institutional options of the management of the national water resource infrastructure. Ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude, I would like to say that this government, and indeed assuring you, as I do here to all South Africans today, will not rest until every South African can enjoy clean drinking water. We are working around the clock. As I said, water, we believe, is a business of 24/7. In order to bring back the dignity to our people, especially those in rural areas, especially those in faraway places and as well as in cities. Let us all enjoy this natural resource, ladies and gentlemen, those who have it, but this is the decade where we must ensure that those who do not have it get it. Let us therefore continue to conserve water as a very, very important natural resource. Let us respect it and let us enjoy it. I thank you, ladies and gentlemen.